are you ever happy? Is there something else out there? Well, we maybe should go get some stand-up paddleboard poles, or I'm making stuff up.
It's probably more working with products that we currently have and wanting to do a better job of it.
Okay.
So, as an example, we designed some tennis umpires' chairs for the Brisbane Tennis Centre. So they've got them in the Pat Rafter Centre there. And I've always wanted to play around with designs in chairs. So there's also a company in Brisbane that is an architectural firm, and they design stadiums. So we would love to sort of get in bed with those people so that when they build a tennis centre somewhere, we can then custom design the chairs which will fit into the design of their building. So, as an example, we did the Adelaide Aquatic Centre. We got an order to make their winners' podiums. So what we did is we made the shape of the podium in front of it to suit the line of the roof, and the line of the roof was actually a waveform. So we put that on the side, and we put some two layers of perforated metal in front of it, and those metals were different colours. So when you walk up to it and walk away from it, it changes from blue to green, so it looked like the water.
Nice.
So working with an architectural firm, and the firm up in Brisbane, they're actually a worldwide company, so they do a lot of stadiums in the US and around Europe. So to work with them,
go Queensland,
and do some custom design stuff.
Okay.
That's what it's all about,
Right.
So,
in Adelaide, were they just thinking podium? Give us a.
Yeah, probably.
Did anyone have the foresight, or was it your company going, hey, we can make you, something that you could get down at Chug and surf, or what about this?
It was a case of tender comes out. They want a three-person podium. It's got to be so wide, so high, and that's it, right?
Okay.
So, but to do that, anyone can make a podium. You want to put your flavour to it, right? So, and that's actually the driving thing now. So we've got some products now that are signature items to us, and they're unique because we specifically make them for so that as soon as you see it, it's a signature thing for us. And one of them is tennis net posts, of all things. We have we actually designed it for looks, not for budget. And we were over in the States in December last year to a American Sports Builders Conference, and we had that much interest from it over there. We're going to send a 20-foot container over by mid-year over to the States.
Wow.
Just
I want
on
to look it
tennis
up
posts.
right now. I've got this computer here. I'm going to be annoying. I have to.
Yeah, you can do that.
You're making me think. Like I've done a lot of TV commercials, right?
Oh yeah.
And I find it's annoying now because you can't just watch a TV show because you kind of see the setup, the cameras and what's going on. It's, as you do. I'm thinking that maybe your life would be like you go to try and watch sports, but you find yourself looking at all the chairs and the way they've done this. Yeah, and maybe if they only did that, can you, yeah?
Yeah, look, well, that's what happens when I watch the tennis. I'm not looking at the player. I'm saying, look, give us a view of the chair. I want to see the chair. I want to see the...
All right, so play hard...
Yeah.
Sport. Play hard sports. Sorry, I'll call it this one. I just got to see. Only because I haven't played tennis for a long time, so I'm thinking of the one I played at high school, like that standard.
This is a little bit flashier than that.
What do you call them? Tennis.
If you go into tennis posts, and it's called a TIW75.
Right. I don't think I can.
So it's got all stainless steel fittings on top, stainless steel handle.
Right. Hang on, here we are. Hold this up a bit without...
Oh, okay.
That's the one? That's it?
That's it. You've got it, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So is it you that thinks we can do better? Do you have final says, or is there... You've got a good crew.
I'm the designer, so
Right, okay.
so all our team is.
What's this? What's that? Hanging
Sorry?
off the side there. What's this?
That
You've got this great stainless steel section off the side.
That's actually a handle.
Yeah.
And when you're not winding it, the actual part that you grip falls down. Right?
Instead of getting jagged.
So so when you walk around, you don't bang your leg on the handle. So that's and then that handle then can be removed.
Nice.
So, but we took that over to we actually took it over to Europe in Cologne last October, and then in the States in Phoenix in December last year. And there's nothing in the US market that's of that particular quality. So they're all sort of more budget orientated in the States. So we can sell ours at over $100 more than what they're currently paying in the States, and we still have interest in it.
And you think of all those people with that have if you've got enough money for a tennis court, you want that one.
And
or the one from
and most of that style generally goes into home court. So when the court builder builds a home court, he wants it looking at his best to hand over to the customer. Yeah. And for an extra $100 or something, you can get a schmick-looking set of posts. And that's the wow factor, which is what Steve Data's on about, the wow thing. Great. So it gives the wow. So, and the reason they're interested in it is because it will then give the court builder a point of interest against other court builders, you see.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So we've got a tennis equipment wholesaler over there that wants to distribute those as well. So, and they want it for the same reason, that they want a difference. They want to separate themselves from the opposition, and this product will help do that for them.
Right. I love it when when things come along that you can't believe no one had messed with for the last 30 years, like a tennis court, but like that particular item. I bet everyone in America's going, oh, geez, the amount of millionaires we've sold tennis courts to, we could have made that thing have cup holders. There's one. Yeah. Write that down, Trevor.
Yeah, cup holders, yeah.
Why not?
Well, we put them on our tennis umpires' chairs.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'm clowning with you, mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, this drink,
you're right,
this is my sponsor, actually, Karma Koala, right?
That's quite good, actually. Good taste.
It's the opposite of an energy drink. It looks like an energy drink, right? Well, it's the opposite of. It actually has all that health food, relaxant stuff, right?
Okay.
So some people will take it to fall asleep. But when I first saw it, I went, oh my God, they've been selling energy drinks forever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you can get something that in a can that will relax you.
Koala Karma.
It should have been invented years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Things that have always been there.
So, in a way, since getting on with Action Coach, he's been helping us to extract ourselves out and talking to us about, you can then go and do other things and give yourself a couple of years and you'll sell the business and you'll be out of it. And then as we're progressing and now as we've got onto this marketing, we're thinking, I can't get out of it. I'm not finished with it. I need to go I don't want to drop the ball, when you're only so far, because we want to see where it can go. So,
and I'm not a believer in that. If you love going to work, if you love fixing and progressing things, you probably should always do it. Or something new has to come along that something shinier. And then the business can go over there.
Yeah.
I see what he's saying though. Well, it's a good tool. Like I said this to my old man ages ago. I said, mate, it's a good thing to make it look like if you sold the place tomorrow, it's ready to sell. So it's a good trick for you. Like everything needs to be in order. If someone's going to come along and buy this business, all that crap over there in the corner, we're going to do that one day.
Yep. They generally say you need to have a manual and hand to someone. So here, this is the business. It's all in here. If you want to know what to say when the phone rings, it's in there. But to actually get that document done is a big ask because you're doing other things, right? So, but that's what you're aiming to do at the end of the day. You're aiming to be able one, take yourself out of it, and part of the reason you do that is to allow everyone else in the business to do their thing, so you're not in there interfering, doing things your way. So you can then extract yourself out, you can still have an income from it, and then it just allows you to either spend the time on the growth things of the business if you want to stay in it, just on the growth things, which is now what we're starting to do. So we're now looking at growing the overseas market and going to Europe as well, and then allowing the Australian bit to be run by the team that we're putting together.
Okay. Hey, where'd you grow up?
I'm from Adelaide originally.
Okay. What suburb there, do you mind me?
It was in Kilburn, which is a northern suburb of Adelaide, and it was sort of at the time where Elizabeth was the most northern suburb, and that suburb was built for all the English migrants. So most of the English migrants that come over, they go into the Elizabeth area of Adelaide. Okay. But now Adelaide is way past Elizabeth. It's all suburbia. Yeah. So
when did you leave there? When did you come to the Gold Coast?
Come to Gold Coast in '98, and I spent 20 years in Sydney. Right. So I moved from.
What part?
I was in St Clair, which was not far from Penrith.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So it was about 40 k's out. Yep. And so I spent 20 years there. Met my wife there, and we sort of formed a bit of a team in a way. She was more of an academic. She's got a couple of degrees, etc. She was a lecturer in midwifery, and I was more on the arty side, more of the flair side of things. So between the two of us, we got things done. So we ended up started our business in our garage at home with the one product, and we then we were doing things in our backyard we shouldn't have been doing. So we had semi-trailers dropping metal off and cutting things up. And we had great neighbours. They were very
lucky.
Put up. Yeah. We almost we had a guy come around welding some rings up for us, and we nearly set our pergola on fire. So. Wow.
So you were cutting steel?
Cutting steel in the backyard, welding, and so we realised we had to move, and when we moved, when we were looking at moving, Sydney just appeared too dear, because we were looking at probably getting a few acres and getting a shed on it, and just
the business
put a house there and doing that. But even that back then you're looking at $500,000, and that's crackers. So we actually came up here as a bit of a joke, because my wife's family lived more in the inner west and not the outer west, and we're always the one visiting them, so they didn't come and visit us. So we said, well, we might as well live in a state for all that matters, So we came up here for a holiday, and then we looked at a place just down the road here in Burleigh Gardens Estate, and saw a rental sign there, and 4 months later we were up here, and that was in 1998.
Brilliant. So that's a big move.
Actually, the next door neighbour of where we'd moved, he was a removalist, so he ended up moving us up from Sydney. Okay. Up here.
Had you been here many times before?
No.
Really?
No.
Ever?
No.
Really? What a risk! What a risk!
Yep. My wife had been up a couple of times on holidays, but no, I'd never been to the Gold Coast, so it was it was sort of a leap of faith. But
did it take you a while to get? I did the same thing. I moved from Sydney. It took me a while to get used to this place. Like
you were in the inner.
Yeah, it was 98. Yeah. 98.
Yeah.
I'm from Queensland though, from Brisbane, but I remember being right in the middle of Sydney City, and coming to the Gold Coast. It felt like just a country town that Sydney moves fast. Even when you're out in St Clair sort of thing, that's a bit of a country area. But
actually, I felt in Sydney you sort of had to be there because it's the place. If you're not in Sydney, you're nowhere. Yep. And in a way, coming to the Gold Coast was sort of like if we'd gone to Wollongong, like how Wollongong is a sister city to Sydney. Yep. So there was a bit of that feeling coming here, but there were a lot of advantages because it only took us we were out in Mudgeerba area. It only